We all know that having the right insurance is essential when we're going on our ski holiday, arguably now more than ever. But it is quite confusing when you get all of that jargon and all the technicalities when it comes to actually getting the right insurance. Luckily, I've got Michael Pettifer here from MPI Brokers, and you are basically the ski specialist insurance for the UK. So I've got a few questions here which are going to help us and our audience. So we just need to know kind of firstly what exactly we need when it comes to winter insurance.
Well, the winter insurance for skiing is the important thing is to identify that you're buying a skier's policy which is designed for skiers. And of course in the coming winter you'll be looking to see whether COVID is insured. And the important bit there is that medical expenses is covered when abroad, which at MPI we do cover, provided there's no FCO warning against orbit essential travel, which is common throughout the market. You can travel under our policy with a warning, but you're just not insured for the reason for the warning, in this case at the moment, COVID.
You've lost me a little bit there. FCO warning, I'm hearing this a lot at the moment. So if I'm wanting to go skiing, am I covered or am I not?
If there's a warning in place, which there currently is for most of Europe, from the FCO, with most policies you can't travel at all. You're not insured at all for anything. Some of them, and MPI is one, will cover you to travel under that warning, other than the reason for the warning.
So what you're saying there is if I went skiing and broke my leg, I would be covered, but if I went and I contracted COVID-19, I wouldn't be insured.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, so Michael, that is the situation right now. Is that going to be the same throughout the whole of the winter season, or could that change, from date to date?
It is a movable feast, as we know. The advice being given by governments and other authorities is changing almost daily. Yes, it probably will change throughout the winter. If things improve, obviously the insurance cover will improve with it.
So it's always kind of sensible, if you were to pick up that insurance next week, that we always revisit and speak to the experts like yourself at MPI to get the correct information for that time of travel.
Absolutely correct.
So we've been following these travel restrictions all summer and stuff. So if those travel advice changes within the winter season, how would that affect my cover? Back to that situation we talked about earlier, my broken leg is covered if I contracted COVID-19. When, let's hope, the warning is removed, so there is no comment from the FCO, then it's back to normal. So cover is there. Brilliant. Yeah. So I'm just going to look at people who are going for their season, so you're 18, 19, you're going for your Seasonaires trip. How does that kind of insurance affect? Because they're going to be there for a long period. How does your insurance cover for your Seasonaires?
Well, the Seasonaires is simply a longer period. The main difference between that and a normal tourist policy is the premium. It's higher because they're out there longer, so they select a period that suits the time they're going to be out there.
Yes, so it's just a change of that time period, but the same things we've just been speaking about before with it going in and out of the travel advice and stuff would still all remain the same.
Nothing changes. Yeah, it's all the same.
Speaking to someone like me, I do like to go off piste and I do like to do stupid things like ski cross, but not everyone does that. However, for those people who do like to raise their heart rate a little bit and get off piste and stuff, how does the cover change then? Normally, it's some insurances say just for on piste. What would we need to look for if we were going to go off piste?
Look for a policy that covers off piste, preferably with no restrictions on who you ski with. Quite a lot of them will require you to ski with a guide, a mountain guide. At MPI, we've been insuring people for decades. And when I first started in this business, there were pistes, but not as much as there are today. So you expected a ski policy to cover you to ski off-piste, as we do now, with no restrictions.
What's the most common mistakes people do when they're purchasing their ski insurance?
The first one? Do you want that one? They don't buy it. They don't insure. They forget. If they're booking with a travel company, they're potentially in breach of their terms and conditions of their travel company. Again, that's their choice. But there are those that forget, and we find them ringing up from the airport, on the transfer bus on the way out. The other one that people make a mistake on is not to book their travel insurance, their ski insurance, at the time of when they book the trip.
Yeah.
That is really important, because you're incurring a liability, the customer is incurring a liability for the cost of the trip. And should, heaven forbid, something happen between booking and date of travel, which can be anything up to 3, 4, 5 months, and you hurt yourself playing hockey, or you have a car accident, or you fall sick, and you can't go, and it could be several £1,000s, and you haven't bought your insurance, then you're on your own. The other thing people do is then buy it at the last minute. When I say last minute, then last minute before they go to see the doctor, and that causes trouble.
Can you actually purchase your travel insurance if you are in a foreign country, or do you have to be in the UK to purchase?
Strictly speaking, you have to be in the UK, and to a large extent, the travel insurance industry do stipulate that that is the case. There are some like us that you can buy from abroad. We have structures in place where that is allowed.
Okay, so there is, if you have accidentally forgotten, there still is that ability to go out there and get that. When it comes to kind of geographical, do you need a different insurance for Europe as to the US or Canada? Kind of, is there different insurances out there, or is it one fits?
No, it's the same policy. It just makes sure when you buy that you click the right button. It'll say worldwide, or it will say USA, Canada. And if you click Europe, you're covered to do Europe.
Now, after the 31st of December, are we Europe or do we have to click worldwide?
No, it's Europe. It'll still be Europe.
Okie dokes.
Whether the premiums go up because of the lack of the EHIC, the European Health Insurance Card, we don't know yet.
Okay.
The deal has not yet done.
Okay, so would it be smart to get my travel insurance if I'm thinking about going away now?
Yes.
Because that premium...
It's fixed.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, yeah, it won't change once you bought.
Well,
for new business, after the 1st of January, it might change. We don't know yet.
So we've talked about the individual. What about when we're travelling with a family and actual children for insurance? How does it work with them? Do I need to get them their own separate policy, or are there policies which include them all?
No, you can buy a policy which most providers will have a family click button. If not, when you put the ages of family and children in, it'll automatically give you a family policy. And the main difference is in the premium rating, which is usually behind the scenes. You won't necessarily be able to work it out.
But they have this exactly the same cover.
They have exactly the same cover, yeah. The one thing on that, if children are travelling, or being insured, should I say, independently of their parents, there are a lot of policies out there that won't do it.
Okay.
Do come to MPI, because we do.
So that's really interesting about the kids, because obviously I used to do a lot of that racing on my own, and my parents were never around. So it's great that there is a policy which you can be independently as a child and covered. Now, I just want to touch upon someone who might be going out for the season, because there might be the Seasonaires who are going out. It might be the kids racing, but also now that we can work from home and we can potentially work from the mountains, there might be some people who are considering going and moving, working from home out in the mountains, living the dream. So extended cover, what do you say about that?
Well, we call that long stay,
Okay.
which is basically exactly the same as the Seasonaires,
Right.
but it tends to be that they're not working in a bar. They're working, doing their office work, which would normally be in the city, or Surrey or Sussex, and they just move themselves to Val d'Isère or to Tignes or wherever, and they can do exactly the same. And if the lift's open, they can go off and do some skiing.
So if you want to find out any more information, you can go to mpibrokers.com, or you can just pick up the phone and Michael's team will be able to help you out. He's the guru of ski insurance for the UK. So thank you so much for coming, Michael, and helping me out, increasing my knowledge on the subject. But yeah, I hopefully will see you out in the mountains and be getting that insurance.
Hopefully. Thank you very much indeed.